نحمده ونصلي على رسول الكريم ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Dear brothers and sisters, we are trying to read and understand verse number 164 of Al-Baqarah. We started this understanding yesterday, but due to the vastness of the verse and the meanings which are explained in this particular verse are too great and too varied that we couldn't complete it yesterday. So we shall go just by the translation of the verse, whole verse, and then continue from the part which we left where we left yesterday. So it is like this: A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious and most merciful. Inna fi khalqis samawati wal ard. Verily, in the creation of heavens and earth, waqtilafil layli wan nahar, and in the alternation of days and nights, wal fulkillati, and in the ships and boats, tajri fil bahar, which travels through the waters or oceans, bima yanfa'una, carrying things which are beneficial to man, wama anzalallahu minas sama, and in whatever Allah sends down from heavens, mimma, in of waters, that streams, فَأَحْيَا بِهِ الْأَرْضَ بَعْدَ مَوْتِهَا, with which He brings earth back to life after its lifelessness. وَبَثَّ فِيهَا مِنْ كُلِّ دَابَّةٍ, and spreads therein all kinds of living creatures. وَتَصْرِيفِ الرِّيَاحِ, and in the blowing of winds. وَالسَّحَابِ الْمُسَخَّرِ بَيْنَ السَّمَاءِ وَالْأَرْضِ, and in the clouds which are hanging between heavens and earth. لَآيَاتٍ, are many signs, لِقَوْمٍ يَعْقِلُونَ, for those who employ or use their reasoning powers. So this is the verse which last time we tried to, for the proper understanding of this particular verse, we separated for our convenience or better understanding. We separated in certain fragments like this: Inna fi khalqis samawati wal ard, verily the creation of heavens and earth, la ayat, there are many signs, liqawmi yaqilun, for those who have understanding. Same way, وَفِي اخْتِلَافِ اللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ, and in the alternation of days and nights, la ayat liqawmi yaqilun, there are many signs for people of understanding. And then وَفِي الْفُلْكِ الَّتِي تَجْرِي فِي الْبَحْرِ بِمَا يَنْفَعُ النَّاسَ, and in the boats and the ships which move around the waters and oceans, carrying things of benefit to man, la ayati liqawmi yaqilun. In this phenomenon too, there are signs for those who employ their reasoning powers. وَمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مِن مَاءٍ, and in that whatever Allah sends down from heavens, min ma'in, of waters or rains, la ayati liqawmi yaqilun, there are many signs for those who use their reasoning power. فَأَحْيَا بِهِ الْأَرْضَ بَعْدَ مَوْتِهَا, and with this he brings earth back to life. La ayati liqawmi yaqilun. In this too there are signs for those who use their reasoning. وَبَثَّ فِيهَا مِن كُلِّ دَابَّةٍ, and with this waters falling down from heaven in the form of rain, he spreads, that Allah the Almighty spreads all kinds of living creatures above and under the surface of the earth. In it too are signs for people who use their power of understanding. But tasrif riya, and in the winds or breezes we see around, moving around, there are signs, la ayati liqawmi yaqilun, for those who understand. And finally, was-sahabil musakhkhari bayna as-samai wal, in the clouds which are hanging between earth and heavens, la ayati liqawmi yaqilun, there are signs for those who use their reasoning power. So we try to understand first few parts or fragments of this verse. Then we came down to وَمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مِن مَاءٍ in yesterday's verse class. So we start from here. That is 1, 2, 3, and now fourth part of this verse, or fourth fragment of this verse. It is like this: وَمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مِن مَاءٍ, and in whatever Allah sends down from heavens and waters, la ayati liqawmi yaqilun, there are signs for those who use their reasoning power. So this again, Quran emphasizes upon its readers to think, to ponder, to observe and explore, and try to see the greatness of the Almighty Allah, who is running this whole world, this whole universe. He is not just a creator, but Lord and sustainer too. So this part of the verse speaks volumes. You have to understand here that it is 1400 years back that such phenomena have been hinted in Quran. You can better appreciate it like this, that at the time of the revelation of Quran, how primitive was man in a particularly the Arabs, ignorant Arabs, how primitive were they in their understandings of this universal phenomena. I tell like this, for example, about rain. Their belief was that there's a big ocean. There's a big ocean on somewhere in the skies, and God sometimes punctures this skies or heavens, and with this that rain falls down. So this was concept about the falling rain. Same way about earth. How is it? As we tried to understand yesterday, as Quran explained it. It was in the Khalq Samawat wal Ard. I explained to you what is earth all about. A mammoth water ball, blue planet, weighing 6.6 sextillion tons. That means 6 billion trillion metric tons is it said. How the belief prevalent at that time, particularly in Arab world, the circumstances of the situation where Muhammad, peace upon him, explained these great phenomena. The belief was that there's a big bull, holding all this earth on his horns. And this earth rests on the horns of a big bull. And the belief was that sometimes this bull gets tired. He makes just a tilt. He tilts this earth from one horn to another, and that makes this whole earth to shake. And that is the phenomenon what we call now earthquakes. So you can imagine in such circumstances, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, explained, of course, on the basis of the revelation, divine revelations received from Allah the Almighty, that this is how. Think about this waters which fall down from heaven. Quran explained it, that it's not like this as you people, ignorant people believe. The fact is that it is in fact with a high temperature, the energy released by sun, which is around what we now believe, that it is around 150 million kilometers away. That means in Indian language we call it 15 crore kilometers away. And it produces, the sun we call now a thermonuclear furnace. Because millions and billions of hydrogen atoms fuse together every second, every moment. And there's a nuclear fusion of two hydrogen atoms. When hydrogen atoms in millions and billions fuse together, helium is produced. And with the production of helium, there's a nuclear flare. A lot of heat is generated. There's tremendous amount of light also, and energy, what we call solar energy. And this heat and heat or energy of solar energy is scattered around sun. You'll be surprised, perhaps, This solar energy reached different planets and is scattered in the world around, in the universe around. Only 1 by 2 billionth part of this heat and energy reaches Earth. Only 1 by 2 billionth part, imagine. And that what makes it provides solar energy, which is absorbed by green plants, as we tried to explain and understand yesterday. A part of that solar energy is absorbed by the chloroplast present within green leaves, and this solar energy is converted into chemical energy, and that is basic factor responsible for the production or manufacture of food, carbohydrate food, which is eaten by animals, and man, which comes to finally reaches man either directly or indirectly. Same way, it is due to this heat, tremendous amount of heat generated in the sun, the temperature of the sun, on the periphery of the sun. It is around minimum temperature towards the periphery of the sun is around 100,000 degrees centigrade. And once we go into the core of the sun, temperature increases. And in the center of the sun, it is around 1.5 million degree centigrade temperature. And a part of this temperature, heat reaches Earth. And with this heat the water bodies of Earth, like particularly oceans, there's a boiling effects there. Water starts boiling. And after boiling, what's it? That water is changed into vapors. Water vapors come up, which are pure, because the ocean waters contain many impurities, either dissolved impurities or suspended impurities also. But since human beings and animals, earth or soil needs pure water without any contamination, see this divine plan, how it works. Quran says, think about it. It has been happening on this earth for the last around 4 billion years. That's about the age of Earth, what we see now. Around 4 billion years. This phenomenon has been happening. That with the temperature, tremendous heat generated by sun, apart from Earth, and with this heating effect, ocean water start boiling, and vapors come up, leaving behind all the impurities in oceans itself, and pure vapors come up. Pure vapors coming up, it's lifted by air currents, these vapors, and they go up and they're scattered, and reaching a particular level in the atmosphere. So that, as they put it, as they say, the higher we go, the cooler it is. Then these water vapors, by the agency of this air currents, they reach higher levels of atmosphere. So there's very, very low temperature. These water vapors get condensed into clouds. And these clouds, heavy rain-laden clouds, are carried away by winds to different parts. And after reaching a particular level or height in the atmosphere, these water, there's a process of precipitation, where these water drops are formed of the vapors which were carried by winds from the ocean surfaces. And after precipitation, water drops fall down. It falls down in the form of water, rain, or snow, or hail, which is needed for the fertility of the soil and needed by humans, by animals, by all living creatures. This is the phenomenon which we know now. See the beauty of Quran. These phenomena were explained by Quran 1400 years back. For example, I just take your attention to one of the chapters of Quran, Surah, chapter Ar-Rum, verse number 48. See what Quran talks about. 1400. These are the things I try to explain to you as it is explained here. وَمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مِن مَاءٍ, and what Allah sends down from the heavens, what in the form of waters or rains. There are signs of the greatness of Allah the Almighty, who runs this whole affair. Quran explains it in chapter Ar-Rum. Allahulati, it is Allah the Almighty, yursilu riyah, who sends the winds or air currents, fatusir sahaba, and these water currents lift these water vapors from ocean surfaces or water bodies. They lift the water vapors which are produced by the boiling effect of sun. It carries water. Then fayabsutuhu fi sama. Then he scatters it in the heavens. That means these water currents carry it to higher reaches of the atmosphere and scatter it in the form of clouds, kaifa yasha, as he wills. وَيَجْعَلُهُ كِسَفًا. Then he splits these clouds. Then he splits it. Then فَتَرَى الْوَدْكُ يَخْرُجُ مِنْ خِلَالِهِ. Then you see that there is precipitation. And these water vapors are converted through the process of precipitation, water drops, and these water drops fall back to earth in the form of water, in the form of raindrops. See, this Quran explaining 1400 years back. Not only this, that means in this process, we can see there's boiling, number 2, evaporation, and number 3, there's condensation, and number 4, there's process of condensation and precipitation, simultaneous precipitation. exposition. These are different stages of distillation, what we call distillation, because by the process of distillation, we get the purest form of water. You know, how distilled water is produced. We start boiling waters in big containers. The water may contain some impurities too, but once we start boiling it, water changes into vapors. And these vapors are the purest form of water because all the impurities are left behind. Then these water vapors are being carried through pipes to other containers, while we find where the sub-zero temperature is maintained, and these water vapors get condensed to water drops, and that's the purest form of water. So this is pure form. See how beauty of Quran. So how we try to see that's why we say that Quran is an epoch-making book. It changed the world history. It changed the course of human history. It is the first book which transformed this whole world, even on the scientific lines. That's why we call Islam as the era of Islam heralded an era of enlightenment and declared end to the Dawri Jahiliyyah, or the era of ignorance, wherein even these are the parts of that, how things are being explained in Quran. See how Quran says. Can we imagine 1400 years back, Quran saying, I quote here, chapter Al-Furqan, verse number 48 again, وَهُوَ الَّذِي, and it is Allah the Almighty, أَرْسَلَ الرِّيَاحَ, who sends down these air currents, or winds, Bushram bayna yaday rahmati. He sends these air currents or these light breezes and winds with bringing glad tidings and good news for the people, because it heralds the fall of the rain is going to fall. This is a time ripe for rainfall. Then Quran says, وَأَنزَلْنَا مِنَ السَّمَاءِ. Then from these clouds, which are a result of that evaporation process, then وَأَنزَلْنَا مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً طَهُورًا. And then we send down from heavens water, ma'an tahura, which is the purest form of water. So it was not known to humanity just a couple of centuries earlier, that rainwater is the purest form of water. Now we see this rainwater, that we call this whole world now as the biggest distillation plant. And Quran explained it by declaring rain as the purest form of water, or ma'an tahura. See the beauty of Quran. See, this is the greatness of Quran. Why Quran says, وَمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مِن مَاءٍ, and Allah sends down waters from the heavens in the form of rains. In it too, in this Quran too, there are signs for the greatness of Allah. How this water cycles around. Because Quran explained it somewhere. So in Quran itself. Quran says that when we created this world, we put a definite quantity of water, which is there. Miqdar. Quran used the word miqdar. That means in different ratio and proportion. Allah, the Almighty, put waters as He put gold, silver, and water. As Quran puts it, Huwa alladhi khalaqa lakum ma fil ardi jamia. It is Allah, the Almighty, who created for you, O humans, waters in earth, everything. Then it is verse number 29 of Al-Baqarah. Verse number 20. I hope you should remember it, because we learned it just in the recent past. Then it's verse number 30, where Quran says, وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. And remember, when your Lord said to the angels that now I am going to send a vicegerent to earth, that is human being in the form of Adam, the first man. So everything is totally on water. There is a rush of water which was put. And this water is there. There's a water cycle. There's no change, no alteration in the quantity as far as the quantity of water is concerned. It only changed form. So there's, as this was explained, the water cycle or hydrobiological phenomenon. The hydrobiology explained in Quran 1400 years back. That water is there. What is it? The oceans are the water bodies, are lakes and other rivers, and the water balls evaporates, goes up, condenses, then precipitates, falls down on the peaks of the mountains in the form of snow or hail or rain, and then comes down in rivers, in lakes, through the lakes, or through any water body, smaller or bigger, finally reach back to oceans. And then again, with the boiling effect of or heating wave from sun, it goes up. So there's a constant water cycle. No increase, no decrease, only change of form of water. This has been happening on Earth for the last around 4 billion years. So if it works in a definite way, in a scientific way, in an organized manner, that means one has to, it makes one to believe that behind this organization, tremendous amount of organization, there has to be an organizer. Otherwise, it cannot happen at random, or it cannot be an accidental process. Tremendous amount of coordination. We see only rain falling.